Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Imagine hacking your way through a dense, impenetrable jungle for decades, searching for remnants of a lost civilization. Now, imagine revealing an entire metropolis of 60,000 hidden structures, complete with houses, palaces, and defensive walls, all in a single afternoon. This isn't science fiction. This is what happened in Guatemala in 2018, thanks to a technology called LiDAR. Lasers, fired from a plane, digitally stripped away the jungle canopy, unveiling a sprawling Maya megalopolis that has completely rewritten our understanding of this ancient society. This is the world of digital archaeology, a field that is using the ones and zeros of our modern age to unlock the deepest secrets of our ancient ancestors. Forget the old image of just a trowel and a trench. Today's archaeologists are armed with satellites, ground-penetrating radar, and artificial intelligence, allowing them to see the past in ways we could only dream of a generation ago. So today, we're diving deep into how this technological revolution is changing everything we thought we knew about human history. Let's start with the tools that let us see the unseen without ever digging a single hole. For decades, the search for ancient sites began with aerial photography, looking for subtle clues on the ground like crop marks. But the game changed with high-resolution satellite imagery. From hundreds of miles up, satellites can survey vast, remote areas, using sensors that see far beyond the visible spectrum. A key pioneer in this field is Dr. Sarah Parcak, often called a space archaeologist. She uses satellite imagery to find lost sites in Egypt and across the former Roman Empire. How does it work? Well, infrared imagery, for example, can detect subtle differences in vegetation. Plants growing over a buried stone wall will be less healthy than plants in deep, moist soil. From space, this creates faint outlines, a spectral blueprint of a building, or even an entire city buried beneath the sand. Using this technique, Parcak and her team have identified over 3,000 ancient settlements, more than a dozen lost pyramids, and 1,000 forgotten tombs in Egypt alone. This God's eye view is not just for discovery, it's also a powerful tool for protection, helping authorities monitor and combat the looting of precious archaeological sites. While satellites give us the big picture, another technology is providing the breathtaking details. This is LiDAR, which stands for Light Detection and Ranging. It's the technology I mentioned that uncovered the Maya megalopolis. A plane or drone fires millions of laser pulses at the ground and measures the reflections. The result is an incredibly precise 3D map of the terrain. But here's the magic trick for archaeologists. The software can digitally filter out vegetation. It removes the trees, the jungle, the forest canopy, and reveals the bare ground beneath with stunning clarity. For studying the ancient Maya, whose cities were swallowed by the jungles of Mesoamerica, LiDAR has been nothing short of revolutionary. Before LiDAR, mapping these ruins meant grueling expeditions, hacking through dense undergrowth. Now, a single flyover can do in days what used to take decades. The 2018 survey in Guatemala revealed not just the 61,000 unknown structures, but also extensive agricultural terraces and causeways connecting cities. This showed that the Maya population was far larger and more urbanized than we ever imagined, with perhaps 11 million people in that region. It also revealed extensive defensive fortifications, challenging the old idea of the Maya as a mostly peaceful society. More recently, in 2020, LiDAR helped find Aguada Phoenix in Mexico, the oldest and largest known ceremonial structure in the Maya world, a massive earthen platform dating back to 1000 BCE. These aren't just new dots on a map, they are fundamentally rewriting Maya history. Once a site is spotted from the air, how do we look underground without digging? This is where geophysical surveys come in. Ground-penetrating radar, or GPR, sends electromagnetic pulses into the earth. When these pulses hit something, a buried wall, a ditch, a tomb, they reflect back, creating a 3D map of what lies beneath. A fantastic example is the famous Anglo-Saxon burial site of Sutton Hoo in England, where a spectacular ship burial was found in 1939. Recent GPR surveys have mapped the entire royal burial ground, revealing new details about the construction of the burial mounds and identifying new areas of interest, all without disturbing this incredibly fragile and significant site. Another powerful tool is magnetometry. It measures tiny variations in the Earth's magnetic field. A fired clay hearth or a ditch filled with organic material has a different magnetic signature than the surrounding soil. By mapping these magnetic anomalies, archaeologists can create a detailed plan of a site before excavation even begins. Together, these non-invasive technologies allow archaeologists to survey huge areas efficiently, target their excavations with precision, and, crucially, preserve ancient sites for the future. Finding and mapping sites is one thing, but digital tools are also changing how we visualize and understand them. Using techniques like 3D modeling and photogrammetry, archaeologists are reconstructing ancient structures and even entire cities with incredible detail. Take Pompeii, the Roman city frozen in time by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. The Swedish Pompeii project used laser scanning and drone imagery to create a hyper-detailed 3D model of an entire city block. Researchers can now virtually walk through the houses, shops, and gardens as they were in 79 CE, gaining new insights into Roman daily life. These aren't just static images, they are dynamic models built from excavation data, old records, photos, and even 19th century drawings. It's like having a digital twin of the site that can be updated and studied long after the physical digging has stopped. While laser scanning is powerful, a more accessible technique is photogrammetry. This involves taking hundreds of overlapping photos of an object or site and using software to stitch them together into a 3D model. This has been a game changer for underwater archaeology. Documenting submerged shipwrecks is a race against time. Photogrammetry allows for rapid and accurate recording, creating a permanent digital record that can be analyzed in detail back in the lab. But perhaps the most exciting application is stepping directly into these rebuilt worlds through virtual and augmented reality. In Athens, you can put on a VR headset and walk through a stunningly accurate reconstruction of the ancient city. You can climb the Acropolis and see the Parthenon not as a ruin, but in its original, vibrant glory. Augmented reality apps can overlay this same information onto the real world through your phone as you visit the site. These immersive experiences aren't just for tourists. Archaeologists use VR to walk through their own 3D data, helping them understand spatial relationships between artifacts and features in a more intuitive way. It's even used to train students in excavation techniques in a safe, controlled virtual environment. From a single pot to an entire city, we can now bring the past to life in ways that were once pure science fiction. Beyond the stunning visuals, the digital revolution is also about data. Archaeologists are collecting vast amounts of information, and new tools are helping them find patterns and meaning within it. Geographic Information Systems, or GIS, are essential for this. Think of GIS as a smart map. Archaeologists can layer all kinds of data onto it, like the locations of Roman roads, rivers, archaeological sites, and artifact finds. By analyzing this combined data, they can model complex systems like the Roman Empire's trade network. They can calculate travel costs across different terrains and transport modes, helping to explain why certain cities became major economic hubs. It turns a map from a simple picture into a powerful analytical tool. And now, artificial intelligence is joining the team. AI excels at finding patterns in massive datasets, a task that is often tedious and difficult for humans. One of its most promising uses is in classifying artifacts, especially pottery. Pottery is everywhere on archaeological sites, and its style tells us about a site's age and cultural connections. But sorting thousands of pottery sherds by hand is incredibly laborious. Researchers at Northern Arizona University trained an AI to classify prehistoric southwestern pottery, The AI can now sort images of sherds with an accuracy that rivals, and sometimes surpasses, human experts. It's faster, more consistent, and doesn't get tired or biased. AI is also being used to digitally reconstruct fragmented artifacts and even help decipher ancient languages. By training a neural network on a database of complete pots, it can predict what the missing pieces of a broken one looked like. In the study of ancient texts, like the cuneiform tablets of Mesopotamia, high-resolution 3D scanning allows scholars to examine the fragile clay tablets in minute detail. Machine learning algorithms then analyze the digital texts, helping to piece together fragmented inscriptions, identify different scribal handwriting, and even suggest possible translations for unknown words. The pace of technological change is relentless, and the future of digital archaeology looks even more extraordinary. Drones are already becoming an archaeologist's best friend. They are cheaper and more flexible than planes, and can be equipped with cameras, LiDAR, and other sensors. They can access remote or hazardous locations with ease, providing incredibly detailed 3D models of everything from mountaintop forts to excavations in progress. The next step is robotics. Imagine robotic archaeologists that can explore environments too dangerous for humans, like deep-sea shipwrecks or unstable tombs. Equipped with sensors and delicate tools, these robots could one day survey and even excavate these sites. It's predicted that by 2030, robots might conduct more than half of all excavations in such challenging terrains. Combine this with AI, and you could have autonomous drones surveying a landscape, identifying potential sites, and deploying ground robots for a preliminary investigation. Technology is also getting smaller. Miniaturized ground-penetrating radar and other sensors can now be mounted on drones, allowing for the collection of subsurface data from the air. The ultimate goal for many is the creation of a digital twin, a perfect virtual replica of a site that is updated in real time. This digital twin serves as a permanent, explorable record. In the future, these digital twins could become part of a metaverse, a shared virtual space where you could walk through a fully immersive, interactive reconstruction of ancient Rome, talk to a virtual Julius Caesar, or take part in a simulated dig. It's a future where we don't just study the past, we experience it. However, this brave new digital world is a double-edged sword. It comes with serious challenges and ethical questions. First, there's the data deluge. We are creating an unprecedented amount of digital information. But this data is fragile. Files get corrupted, storage media becomes obsolete, and software becomes unreadable. There's a real danger we are creating a digital dark age, where vast amounts of this valuable data could be lost forever. Unlike physical artifacts, they can last for millennia. Then there's the question of ownership. Who owns this digital data? The archaeologist who collected it? The institution that funded them? The country where the site is located? In an age where data can be copied and shared globally in an instant, these are complex questions. There's a push for open access to data, but this has to be balanced with the need to protect sensitive information, like the locations of unexcavated sites that could be targeted by looters. And finally, there is a philosophical challenge. As our virtual reconstructions become more realistic, we risk losing sight of the importance of the real thing. A virtual Pompeii, no matter how detailed, is still an interpretation. The trowel and the trench are not obsolete. They provide the raw data on which these reconstructions are built. The future isn't about choosing between the digital and the real, but about integrating them creatively and critically. In conclusion, digital archaeology is fundamentally transforming our connection to the human story. It's giving us new eyes to see the past, revealing lost cities, rebuilding ancient worlds, and allowing us to ask profound new questions about our shared heritage. But this great power comes with great responsibility. As we push the boundaries of technology, we must also work to preserve this new digital record for the future. The tools may have changed, but the mission remains the same: to use the clues of the past to better understand what it means to be human. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online.